How about this? Hey, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the morning stretch. How's everybody today?
Well,
hey, Matt Engelbrecht joins
Hello.
us. There he is. Hi, Tricia Sloma also here along. Looky there. We have our Glover in the house. Kirsten Glover, producer. She helps us get these organized and keeps us on track. So, morning stretch.
We never go off track.
For today.
We are not the type that would derail a certain broken down item by item agenda. That is not our style.
Hey, I think, what do you want to talk about? Speaking of broken down, do you want to talk about what broke down over the skies of Michiana?
Let's get right into it.
Okay, so let me see if I can pull this up.
Okay.
You are pulling it up, actually, right?
I've got it on mine.
Okay.
So as long as you can merge it over.
Oh, yeah.
We should be
We're
okay.
there. We're there.
So you
So
haven't
what are we
seen this
looking
footage
at?
yet.
No, I haven't.
Yeah,
What's going on?
Chicken Little was right.
Sky is falling.
Sky is
What?
falling. So this is around 10:30 last night. And what you're looking at, and there's a couple of things I was just talking to Jack about it.
Telephone pole.
There's a telephone pole that is right in the way. That's right. Kyle sent this in. What you're seeing is what's called a degraded satellite. I'm thinking, based on what I've been able to see this morning.
Oh, I do see a streak in the sky.
Oh, you don't see the? Oh, sorry. I thought you were kidding. Yeah, well, with the ring light that we have, our beautiful ring light.
Yeah, is it making it
your
hard?
eye probably can't really see much of it. But there's at least 3 bright objects there. And it looks like Starlink. So SpaceX sends a bunch of satellites up in space for internet connection. One of their satellites looked like it failed, degraded, and came back to Earth.
Oof.
That's what we saw.
Wow. It's fascinating. And when you think about all the satellites that are not necessarily working anymore,
Sure.
they're known as space junk now. I mean, could more of this happen?
I would say 10 years ago, we'd see something like this and be like, oh my gosh, what is going on?
Yeah.
But we're throwing a lot of stuff up into space. It is one of the bigger concerns, especially since we have people on the International Space Station. Little things can cause
People up there.
big problems.
Yeah.
Degraded satellites coming down like this. And one way you can tell that it's a satellite, not a meteor, is the trajectory. You see how it's kind of coming back. The angle towards Earth isn't as steep or
Right.
sharp as what you'd get with a meteor. So you kind of see this deorbit rather than a straight drop from the sky.
Kirsten, I just learned something. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And it wasn't just us. It was seen Illinois, Wisconsin, Michigan, Ohio, which we'll talk about in a little bit, as well as into Missouri, Kentucky, and Tennessee. So it was the altitude was fairly high.
oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm wondering though, like, is there enough like real estate up there for all the satellites?
I'm not hearing her very well. What is happening?
Yeah, I'm wondering that too.
All right. Why? I thought I tested that. We're not hearing you. You're asking about real estate.
Yeah, is there?
The real
enough
estate market right
space
now
up
is
there?
pretty good.
Is there enough space up there?
Is there a bubble? I don't know. I'm thinking
you
that
can hear. You just can't speak.
Yeah,
What's going on?
I don't know.
Luke and George could know about that. Real estate bubbles. But yeah, no, you're asking about, is there space in space?
Yeah,
Yeah.
around the planet.
Yeah, there's more than enough. Just like what we run into is that these resources, when we start to use them up pretty quickly, then we get into a situation where we don't have any more space.
Right.
Part of it is the energy it takes to get satellites into space. That is going down. The cost to get things into space is going down. So we are seeing more and more lower Earth objects that are in orbit.
That's fascinating.
To help with GPS and stuff like that. It's the cleanup that is going to be interesting. Right now we're fighting climate change. I think in 50, 60 years, it's the cleanup of space and the low Earth orbit that we need to be concerned about.
That's fascinating.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
I think the weather is something that's fascinating right now because while you have the floor, sir, you might as well explain. We are sitting above normal in temperatures.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you take it away. What do we have?
So last week it was all about the cold air, how freezing it was. We were worried about pipes. We were worried about just wind chill and frostbite. Now, what we're worried about is Well, not much. The wind is strong. Thursday, temperature around 50 degrees, 40 degrees on Friday, 34 degrees on Saturday. Overall, the trend is for above average temperature, something that we haven't seen much of. Now, last week or even the week before, most of December and January have been spent at or below average. So this is a trend that we haven't seen. Hopefully, it's a trend that you can enjoy as well. Obviously, on the other side of it, late January, February, we're starting to get or continue to be in kind of I want to go skiing, I want to go snowboarding type mood. I want to go sledding. I want to go down these hills, but we need snow to do that. This is not the greatest forecast for that outlook. Now, that being said, places like Swiss Valley, they do have a base up there in terms of snow. What we want to avoid is obviously ice with the snowpack and the colder temperatures. So we'll see how things kind of pan out. I'm still expecting February to be cold. But as I told the newsroom yesterday, Tricia, you were there for that.
Yeah.
I think the coldest of the cold for this winter is behind us. We usually get one or two stretches like what we had last week in the month of January, maybe early February. But based on what I'm seeing in the data, it'll get cold again. But I'm not seeing below zero temperatures in the next couple of weeks. And that puts us all the way to the middle of February.
Oh, my. And I look back just a week ago, we were worried about burst pipes. We were talking to people about making those preparations
Absolutely.
in your home. And wow, I mean, what a difference a week makes. Look
That's
where
right.
we are.
Yep.
Look where we are. I want to talk about the Mona Lisa next.
Oh, okay. How was that?
Well, Mona
Was that fake
Lisa.
enthusiasm?
Well,
Oh!
yeah.
I had no idea this was
Have you heard
coming.
about this? That they're eventually wanting to have
It was on my sheet.
they've got overcrowding. You're looking at what is happening at the Louvre. This is in Paris, France. I've actually been there. It's really cool. It's a bucket list thing. My daughter was studying abroad, and I took that as an excuse to go see her. And we took a train trip over to see the Louvre, and it was so cool. And yes, I was one of those Americans who took a selfie with Mona Lisa. Mm-hmm. It's in a room with other artwork. Actually, if you turn around from the Mona Lisa, the largest painting at the Louvre is on the opposite wall, and it's a depiction of the wedding at Cana, and it is absolutely stunning, and it is enormous. But you can see this is actually quite small painting. Yeah. But they want to have it in an area all of its own and then sell tickets for a separate entry fee.
What do you think about that? I mean, based on the image here, that's normal. The number of people in that room, the rows of people and the cell phones that are up. You don't get up and get personal with the Mona Lisa. It is, I want to call it a tourist trap because it's Da Vinci. It is a masterpiece that you at least have to see. In your experience, I mean, do you like that they're going to put it in a separate place?
I don't. I think you should be able to pay for your admission and spend your day. I mean, you can't see everything that's there anyway. No. And they already have special exhibits that they're already charging extra for anyway.
Yeah.
But it's usually for entire, like if they have special artwork that has been recovered from tombs or something like that. And they have it all on display in one area. And it's a very special exhibit. This would be year round, it sounds like. This would be like, yeah, we know what you're coming for. So we're going to have you pay extra.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah. I think it's good the way they have it. The way they have it. I mean, it's quite the campus. I mean, this is in a palace. The Louvre is a former palace in France that they have converted to a beautiful museum. It was already had acquired all of these beautiful works of art. And by the way, this particular work of art, Leonardo da Vinci, of course, from Italy. Yep. It was a gift to France. But Italy says, hey, for the Milan Olympics next February, we'll take it off your hands. We would like to have it on display temporarily.
Well, Milan already has a famous work of art by Da Vinci already.
Help me?
Last Supper.
Oh, I didn't realize that was
Milan.
there. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah.
You've been to that.
I have not. I've been to this one, but I haven't. I'm actually, so it'd be just to tell you and everybody else, I'm reading a book on the Last Supper and the painting of Da Vinci's.
Oh my gosh.
An entire book dedicated to that.
That's really cool.
But no, when I see this with the Louvre, having been before, the one word that strikes me is overwhelming. Like the Louvre in general is just so, the architecture that we were talking about, it was a palace. The pyramids, they have the pyramids, the ones that go up and then the ones that come down. The Mona Lisa is, I'd hate to say it, it's a bit of a footnote on that entire campus.
Yeah.
There's just so much to see and do. And usually most tourists, when we go over there, is a half day, maybe a full day at the Louvre, and it's not enough.
Yeah, it's not enough. Kirsten,
Yes.
we still can't hear you, can we?
It's okay.
I'll loan you my microphone.
I'll mime.
Is there another microphone? Give us a thumbs up. Do you like the Mona Lisa?
I think it's overrated.
Give us the half smile of the Mona Lisa. Go ahead.
The Mona Lisa smile. Anywhere you move, her eyes are looking at you.
That's Elvis.
There.
That's Elvis.
He was last week. You are, okay, I will say, now that I'm reminded, Tricia, you are well-traveled.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
You've been to Memphis, you've done Elvis and all that kind of stuff. Then you've been over to Europe, you've done the Mona Lisa.
Well,
and most importantly, on everybody's bucket list, you've lived in Ohio.
Well,
I mean that.
I was just there over the weekend. What's really cool is that Ada, Ohio, has the unique distinction of having
What a transition.
the footballs that are used in the Super Bowl. And I'm showing you now video. These are the official footballs for Super Bowl 59. And that's coming up here in a couple of weeks. Since 1950s, every football used by the NFL has been a handcrafted ball at this tiny town in Ohio. Now, when I talk about tiny town, this is Ada, Ohio, not far from my farm where I grew up, just a few miles, in fact. I was there on Sunday. There's about 5,000 people who live there, and I even question that number because if campus isn't in session, Ohio Northern University is there. If the kids aren't on campus, I wonder if they even can meet 5,000 people. But it's a beautiful little village, and this factory sits there in town, and boy, they make these footballs, and it's just a wonderful tradition. They get stamped, stitched, inflated, laced up. It's quite the process, and every year we get to see this making of the footballs.
Yeah, properly inflated.
Yes.
By the way.
Brady's not in this football
game. There you
game.
go. What I noticed in the what's called B-roll footage, what you're seeing on your screen there, is just like football players, how they tape up their fingers, their ankles, every part of their body. These guys do too.
Well, they have
their fingers. They're sewing, and they got their fingers taped up and everything. It's great.
It's kind of
not
physical.
easy.
Yeah, it's got to be a physical job.
Yeah.
All that rawhide. You know what? I don't know about you, but I love the smell of leather. And when you walk into a place like that, that's what it's going to smell like in there. I mean, it's like almost like a boot factory or something. They're really making these right there in front of everybody, and all of the stitching and everything, measurements are taken. It's really cool.
You know what we're going to do for Tricia next year for
What?
Christmas? We're all going to go in on leather candles. We're just leather scented candles for you,
No,
Tricia. So I'm saying that now so you forget.
No.
And then for your Christmas present, you're like, I love the smell of leather. Thankfully, I have this candle that I can light and remind myself, what a nice gesture, newsroom.
Let me know when you do that, and I'll request.
You can just chip in. No, you just chip in.
You can't stand the smell of leather.
I don't know.
You don't like it. No. You know what I will get next time I'm through there? I'll have to check with my sister. She's really good about this. My sister still lives right where we grew up, right across the road, in fact, and she loves to go to the factory, and when they have their sales, and you can get like, you know how end of the line runs of things that maybe the print didn't come out just right. Maybe the stitching is just off a little, or it's the first run. Always the first runs are the ones that, equipment's not quite up to speed or things aren't heated up properly. But these are perfectly good footballs and basketballs. I tell you, that's how I, played basketball with basketballs made from the Wilson factory. And, all of that stitching and stuff is done right there. So it's like, it's like a hometown factory when you're going to you can get half off footballs and basketballs, baseballs, all that.
Well, you mentioned Wilson, a name in footballs, basketball, tennis balls, but I don't think they make that there.
I don't think so. I think these are strictly the
no,
leather
they make
products.
those at the Pringle store because they come in the little jars. Pickle jars?
Those canisters,
The canister?
I
I
believe.
think,
Yeah, maybe
Now, see,
so.
if you like the smell of leather, I like the smell of opening up a can of fresh tennis balls. That smells good too.
Oh, a little crack those open, right?
So we already got gift ideas. You get the leather candle. I get the freshly opened can of tennis ball candle.
Kirsten, I think we have to write these down.
You're writing these
'Cause
down.
I'm not falling
Pens
for it.
fresh out of ink. Fresh out of ink.
Fresh out of ink.
Hey, there's a kid that likes to play football in Michigan. And I got to
yeah.
talk before this is over today. I got to talk about today's Wednesday's Child. Our Wednesday's Child this week, it comes to us from Grant Me Hope. He's 11 years old. His name is Zechariah. He goes by Zach. He is tired of switching schools. And if you know anything about foster kids, they often get bounced from home to home, and that means they get switched school to school. He is tired of starting over every few months. He is a smart kid. He likes math. He wants to be a mechanical engineer, or perfect for this time, he wants to be an NFL player.
Yes.
So, folks, that's Zechariah. You can watch his story tonight just before 6 on 16 News Now. But, of course, you can always check out our Wednesday's Child stories. I encourage people to go to our website, WNDU.com. You can click on Wednesday's Child. I think it's under Community. And just check out all of our stories. And if you've ever been interested in either foster care or adoption from foster care, there are links to every one of these stories that will get you in touch with the experts that can help you start that process. Maybe some people don't want to commit to something. I mean, this is like adding another child to your family. This
Absolutely.
is changing, their lives, but it's also changing your life too. And a lot of people say, I can't commit to something like that. Okay. Well, what about helping out with foster families? Because there's ways that you can support foster families and not have to commit completely to this whole process of adopting a child or welcoming children on a regular basis to your home. There's ways to support foster care, and maybe that's for you and your family. So you can check it out. Again, all of these links are with these stories on WNDU.com. So we hope people will check it out.
Yeah, a lot of resources over there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, anything else? Any new business? Any old business?
No.
Yo, she's just smacking her lips over there.
That's funny.
I have the biggest bug crawling on my ring light right now.
Okay.
It's one of those box elder bugs.
Okay.
Do you want me to
So
catch it?
I do have some last
I
minute
can try
stuff.
to catch it. Oh, it flew over to you.
Well, is it okay? You grew up on a farm. I think you can
I grab
handle it.
about anything, which
Yeah.
is really annoying.
Okay, last thing. I got
Okay.
and this is only because in the First Alert Weather Center, Alyssa was talking about this the other day.
All right.
And we went down a rabbit hole, not a physical rabbit hole, but a flea and tick hole. Yeah.
Tiny.
The temperatures last week, it was cold enough to kill most ticks and fleas.
Wait, you're supposed to wait so I can yell, how cold was it?
I just told you it was just
Cold enough
to
kill
kill most ticks and fleas.
Well, that's actually good,
Not
right?
everything is a joke, Tricia. This is serious.
Okay.
But I want to remind people that when it comes to pet treatment, dogs, or even if you have cats that you treat that are outside,
Yes.
year round. Year round. This isn't, I'm taking winter off because the
I am
fleas and
bad
ticks
about
are
that.
done. It's got to be year round because ticks and fleas, they can actually hide in the snow or insulate themselves in the snow to protect from the extreme temperatures. And right now we're back up above freezing. So protection year round.
Wow.
That is your vet moment of the day.
Oh, thank you. You're
welcome.
Cecil the cat will appreciate that.
And what about the other cat?
That is Cecil the cat.
Yeah,
you
what
made
about your other
his
cat?
other name?
You have cats?
I have a cat. His name is Cecil.
You're not
He's
Cecil.
enough for everything.
I don't know. What
You've
do you
met
call him
Cecil.
something else? Is there
a beeping button?
another name that you call?
No.
That is the sound
the
we're gonna
other
hear
name-
when you tell because Cecil's
there-
a great cat.
Yep. There's
Doesn't get into anything ever.
no. He's a terrorist. He has a nickname of terrorist.
No,
and
that's not the one. That's not it either.
No.
Keep going.
I have sheltered your children's ears when I've said his name, his other name.
Yeah. Their
Matt
ears.
has been over to my house with
about
his
my
kids
ears?
and his wife and kids, and I'm like, yeah, I just blurted out.
Uh-huh.
I'm so sorry I cursed in front of your
It's
kids.
not on the list.
Nope.
It's not on the list. I thought we were going to go over that. That's okay. Hey, we've run out of time. We've run out of
Absolutely.
time.
You know, we are so glad you joined us for the morning stretch.
Maybe tomorrow.
Kirsten, I really wish you would talk more.
I know.
You know,
Sorry.
it's just so I don't
Warm.
know.
Not us.
There we go.
No, we're not doing sound effects. No, this is a sound effect free show.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, thank you for joining us on the morning stretch, folks. Have a great day. Make it a great Wednesday. We'll see you soon.
Oh, God.